Linda Magnuson is a trained UC Holy Fire 3 Reiki master. She has a passion for natural health and wellness, energy work, and physical movement. She lives in Winter, Wisconsin with her husband and two sons. Linda obtained her master Reiki attunement in April 2001 after completing the level 1 and 2 training. She has worked in healthcare since she was 16 years old and has been a radiologic technologist since 2009. She holds one-on-one Reiki She holds one-on-one Reiki healing sessions and teaches Reiki workshops and holds retreats. Welcome to the show. Hello? Ah, oh, me too. Thanks for being here. I am excited to hear about it. I am somewhat familiar. I've done it one time. It was incredible, the experience. So I'm really excited to talk with you today. So, Linda, before we get started, I'm realizing that I will not be able to pronounce your last name. I will probably mess it up big time. So, how do you say your last name? Magnuson. Okay. Okay. So I would have gotten it. I think okay. Um, so Linda, what I'm going to do is just kind of ask you a few general questions about what led you into your practice and to share a story. If you're comfortable sharing a story about somebody that has done really well through working with you, and also to get a little bit more information on the workshops and retreats, because I think that sounds really cool as well. And and then at the end, I'm gonna just kind of ask you some takeaway questions, so you'll know when we're getting to the end when I say something along those lines. Awesome. All right. So, any other questions? Oh. Oh. Perfect. Perfect. That's what I do. That's what I do. That sounds good. And either I can take it out or we can talk about it. It's. So, yeah, if there's anything that you say and you want to say it over again, just go ahead and do it because I do edit quite a bit. So, I will just remove it. So, same with ums and pauses. Take your time, don't feel rushed. If you have to look something up, totally fine. And then we'll probably take about, I don't know, about 20 minutes today. And then usually the podcast is about 15 or so minutes. It's not too long, but all right. Me too. Me too. So, welcome, Linda. I am really excited to talk to you today. And today we're going to be talking about Reiki. I always say this wrong, even though I practice and practice. But you are a Reiki master, so I need to hear more about that for sure. So, Linda, can you share a bit about what that means? Mm, okay. Okay. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, so the process of it sounds like quite the process. So the first level working on yourself, which makes a lot of sense because you would have to really imagine yourself as being that instrument. And if you're not feeling like you are doing your work and feeling attuned, then it would make sense that that would not be a great starting point for other people. So you started there and then you moved up to working with other people and then teaching as well. So that's a lot of different things and a lot of different practices, it sounds like. So what made you decide to start this work? Right. Mm. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Right, right. Oh, no. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Linda, that sounds horrible. And to go from such like you said, like a healthy feeling your best and then having such a bad reaction. Wow. Oh my god. Yeah. Mhm. Right. 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 Quite a hike. Yeah. 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 Mm. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Right. Right. Mm. Right. Right. Wow. Wow. Oh, right. Right. Mhm. Right. 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 Wow. Right. Mm. Right. Yeah. Right. Wow. Linda, that's incredible. That's incredible. And I hear so many stories that are similar to that as well. And it would be quite impressive if there was some more integration between, our healthcare system and more of the Eastern and energy work as far as what actually does help us heal, right? What actually does help us feel better. And I had a very similar experience when I did it as well, where my practitioner was able to see or feel actually that I had a back surgery and a Achilles surgery, which was mind-blowing to me as well. Like I could not stop thinking about how strange that was and how it did feel very similar as well. Like I did feel lighter. It felt very relaxing, but not like I'm going to nap relaxing. Almost like a connected feeling. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I think too we spend so much time in our minds and not a lot of time in our bodies and paying attention to what our body's saying to ourselves as well. And so I think too that does create more of that stuckness of okay, just move on to the next thing. I might be feeling this way or feeling that way, but I still have other things to do. Especially when you're talking about the pandemic and how that affected all of us and healthcare workers in particular, where it just didn't seem like there was much of a pause for any of you in that field. I have a lot of clients in the healthcare field, and that was one of the most difficult experiences um, for so many people, and just being in that frontline position and taking in, like you said, all of the different energies from people that were in a lot of pain, that you don't just say, okay, I'm not at work and I'm not going to feel any of those things now. I'm free from it. It doesn't quite work that way. So I would imagine that that was also taking a toll on your body and your health. Mhm. 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 Right. Mhm. Right, right. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Mhm. Right, right. Yeah, and Linda, that's partly why I wanted to have a podcast like this because I will talk with individuals in many different fields in some sort of health and wellness area. And it does seem as though everything is so separate, and somebody that might be going in for one particular issue, they're not necessarily looking at all of the other things. And as a therapist, I'm obviously talking much more to somebody in regards to their mental health and their physical health than if you go to primary care, right? So it's a longer period of time, and you start to hear over and over again similar things, which um there's definitely a place for um our medical field, right? Like there is, and I'm yeah, yes, 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 but the reality is some of the things aren't getting figured out for a lot of people, and so thinking about just opening up some more communication, talking to different practitioners, seeing what else there is out there, it becomes daunting for most people. And so, again, part of why I wanted to do this was to be able to connect more people to each other so that we can continue to have conversations like this. And so that somebody that might be struggling with something has more than just one person that they're talking to, that they could actually say, oh, this is what's going on for me. And oh, have you talked to this person, and this person? And see if they could help you at all. Because I've seen huge shifts for people when they've tried um, different types of alternative medicine and energy work. So, mhm, mhm. Yeah. Mhm, mhm. Right. Right. Right, which is where all science comes from, really, right? Is those um firsthand experiences and saying, "Oh, this seems to work here. Let's investigate this more and more and more." And that's where you start to see that the evidence-based information that I think is you're right. Like it is developing more and more, and we're seeing more and more information on how it actually can help people. Um, so, Linda, I'm hoping that you could share maybe a takeaway to our listeners, maybe something that somebody could do on their own with their starting of their healing session. And like, is there something that somebody could just start doing for themselves in regards to their energy and healing? Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Linda, those are so helpful. I think using any of them or maybe even all of them could be really, really beneficial for a lot of people. I did notice that you have some retreats and workshops. Before we end, would you mind sharing a bit about what those look like? Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mm. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes, yeah, very cool. Yeah, yeah, that sounds wonderful. I would love to do that. That sounds really peaceful and beautiful, and the fact that there's different things at these retreats where it's not just the one thing that that somebody's doing, and that group feel. I do notice a huge impact when people come together and they're working on something together. It might not necessarily be the same thing, but they're all there for a singular purpose. It can be extremely powerful. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, right, right. Right, right. Yes. And just like anything, if you have that, they talk a lot about placebo effect in science and research, but there's the opposite can occur too, where you believe something is not going to work. It could be anything really. It could be a medication, it could be surgery. If you truly believe it's not going to work, there is an effect on yourself and your body when that happens. So I would imagine that that would be extremely impactful when talking about Reiki healing and that that type of work, especially um, because it's so so connected to your mind and body. Mhm. Well, thanks, Linda, so much for talking with me today. And I will put your information in the show notes so that anyone that wants to reach out to you can do so. It was so great talking with you. All right, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.